Hello, my mathematicians. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to get started and we're going to learn a couple new words, which may not be new to you. You might remember learning them before, but we are definitely going to be reviewing them. But before we review, it's super important that we get our minds ready. I like to have a little bit of math workout. Warm-ups, I guess I should say. Kind of like when I go out for my run every day, I don't just start running hard. I got to warm my body up first. I might start walking a little bit at first until I can get my heart rate up a little bit, and then I can start running because my body's ready. So similarly, let's see if we can get our math minds ready. So let's do some counting, some skip counting like before. Let's start counting by fives, and I want to see your mouth joining me, so you should be counting along with me. Are you ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, stop. Let's start counting by twos now. Except let's start with another number. Let's start with 30. So what would that sound like? Oh, that's a tough one. Let's try it. 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68. Stop. Now let's start counting by tens with a different number. So today, why don't we start with 9? So we're going to count by tens, but we're going to start with 9. So imagine in your brain, even though it's not in front of you and I'm not showing you right now, I want you to think of your number scroll and your number grid. And if you were to go down and count, what would that look like? So it sounds like this: 9, 19, 29, 39, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99. How did you do? I hope you did pretty good. Now for the next warm-up, I want you to grab a whiteboard and a marker because I'm going to give you some sums or some numbers, and I want you to tell me show me what number would go with it to make 10. Are you ready? If you don't have your whiteboard with you, you can hold up your fingers, but I also like to see your writing. So here we go. Are you ready? So the first number, I want to know what goes with 3. So you just write the next number, what would go with 3, and show it to me as soon as you got it. If you wrote 7, you did it. Good job. Erase your board. Let's do another one. How about 8? As fast as you can. What number goes with 8 to make 10? 2. Awesome job. Erase. Okay, I'm going to give you a hard one. What number goes with 10 to make 10? That wasn't a really hard one, was it? Because what's the answer? A lot of you drawing that really quick. 0. Good job. Erase your board. Let's do one more. Let's do this one. What goes with 5 to make 5? Or make 10? You're correct. Good job. So now that your math minds are good and warmed up and ready to go, let me tell you what we're going to be learning about today. We are going to be learning about numbers that are even, and we're going to be learning about numbers that are odd. That's how you spell it. I know sometimes my light is funny on this board for whatever reason. So we're going to be talking about numbers that are even and numbers that are odd. And to help us understand what an even number and what an odd number is, I'm going to draw some 10 frames. And if you remember correctly from first grade, 10 frames are just frames, boxes, that have 10 spots in the middle. And the way I do that is I draw 4 across. So if you ever wanted to, you don't have to do this on your whiteboard, you can just watch. 1, 2, 3, 4 lines will give you 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's one 10 frame. I'm going to draw another one over here. And again, we'll just check it to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to look for numbers that are even and numbers that are odd. Now, when things are even, you can share them. So with one other person. So we're going to pretend that like this is one person and this is one person, and we want to make sure they have exactly the same amount. So for example, if I had 2 pennies, I could share them with 2 people, and they could each get 1 because this person would have 1 and this person would have 1. So the number 2 is an even number. I'm going to put a couple more. So I have 3 more on there. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is number 5 even or is it odd? Well, this person would get 3 and this person would get 2. So number 5 is an odd number. What about that? Now is it even? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 is an even number. And we said 5 was odd, but if I added 1 more, now how many do I have? 6. Is 6 an even or an odd number? It's an even number. What if I had a bigger number? I don't think I have this many pennies, but what if I had like the number, what if I had the number 14? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It still looks even, right? So that could work. So 14 would be an even number. And I want to show you, because I could have written it a different way. I could have done it like this. Just going to move them around a wee bit. That makes 14 still 2, doesn't it? But this and this are even. And in fact, 7 plus 7, anytime you have a doubles fact like that where you're showing the same number, doubles facts are always even too. So I'm looking at what I wrote up here. I'm trying to take these off without erasing since I'm using a whiteboard. So 1 was odd. I'm going to actually, let's just write this and see if we can see a pattern here starting. So 1 is odd. 2 is even. 3 is going to be odd. You see how this is looking? 4 is even. 5, odd. 6, even. I'm not even going to put these in. Do you see the pattern happening? 7, 8, 9, 10. I could kind of keep going forever because numbers can do that. They just go on and on and on and on. And now that I'm looking at my even numbers, I see a pattern. Do you? 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4. Oh, it's kind of just like what we were doing when we were counting by 2s, right? You see that every time. So if I were to look at the back of my math journal here like this, check it out, and start counting in the even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Uh-oh, look at this. Do you see the pattern happening? In fact, just like scrolls, I think I could just go like this, couldn't I? All of these numbers here are even. And all of these numbers. So the ones I'm not coloring right now, those are my odd numbers. So all even numbers will end with 2, 4, 6, 8, or what does this column end in? 0. So here's something I can show you. And you can do this and impress all the grown-ups in your life. I'm going to give you a big number, and I'm going to ask you if it is even or odd. Now remember, all even numbers end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0. So just the last number is the one we have to pay attention to. So what if I give you a hard number, like 472? Is 472 even or odd? You only have to look at the last number. Is it an even number? Yes. So it's even. If I gave you the number 1,231, oops, forgot the uneven. Is that number an even number or an odd number? Does it end in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0? Nope. So it is an odd number. What if I gave you the number 25,648? There's even and odd numbers in here, so that's even, odd, even. But the only one that ever matters is that last one again that we're looking at. So is it an even number or is it an odd number? It's an even number. All right, I'm going to give a really big one, right? Wait till you see this number. Woo! My goodness, that's a big number. In fact, you might not even know how to read that number. But I bet you can tell me if it's even or odd. Look at that last number. Is it an even number or is it an odd number? It is an even number. Excuse me. So yeah, if you have a number that ends in 2, 4, 6, 8, or 0, you know that that's going to be an even number. And if it ends in 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, it's going to be an odd number. So let's take a look at what we're going to do today. Now that our math minds are warmed up, you've got all the numbers flowing, you're thinking so well, you have on page 7 an odd and even patterns. And it says to write the number of dots and then label the number odd or even. So they've done the example for you. So they counted how many dots there are: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now some of you probably did that a little bit faster, knowing that if it were fully filled in, it would be 10. Take away 1, it's going to be 9. So you're going to write the number on the top line, and then you're going to write if it's odd or even on the line below. Now, you should be spelling even correctly and odd correctly because it's right up here. So if you want to circle those two words for yourself so that you know how to spell them, because they do need to be spelled right. But sometimes you can tell right away what it is. Like, is this even or odd? It's odd, isn't it? So I might write odd here and then go back and count. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, so you're going to finish out numbers 2 and 3. And then at the bottom, it asks you to write an even number. And you can make that as big as you want or as small as you want. And I want to know how you know it's even. Same thing for an odd number. Show how you know the number is odd. So you're going to be doing page 7. And then, just like yesterday when we talked about the math boxes, you got math boxes today too. So they want you to count the money. So let's review. How much is a nickel worth? Show me with your hands. 5. How much is a dime worth? 10. So you're going to count up these 4 dimes and write the answer here. Do you remember doing these puzzles last week? If you need to, you can get out your math scroll or you can look to the back. But remember, when you count down, they're counting by tens, and right and left, they're counting by ones. So you need to fill in these numbers for number 2. And again, if you've forgotten how to do something, remember how I showed you how to use that math reference book yesterday online? They always have the page numbers even where you can look to get some more information on that if you've forgotten how to do something. For number 3, they want you to count the tally marks. Remember, each group of tallies is 5, so you would go 5, 10, and then you can keep counting. That's more efficient. So you're going to write how many tally marks are there. And do you remember when we played last week the calculator, the broken calculator game? So it says pretend the 5 key is broken, and you need to write 4 different ways to show 25. So 4 different ways. So think if you can try and work on that one. And then number 5 says, explain how you figured out the missing numbers in problem 2. So problem 2, this is the one they want you to ask about. So there's different ways you could have done it. So maybe you say, I know how to count by tens, so I knew it was underneath. Maybe you can say you started with 13 and you counted by how many would you have to count by here? Ones. So whatever your brain was thinking, I want you to try to write it down. Again, this is the hardest part, but we'll go over it. And we will be meeting in your different math groups. So just a reminder, so what you're going to be doing in just a minute is you're going to be doing your journal pages. Let me write those down again. 7 and 8. So on page 7 and 8, you're going to do those, okay? So you've got the odd and evens, and then you've got the math boxes. And if you finish that, that's when you can go ahead and do some of those other games that we've talked about that are just really good exercises for your brains. The scrolls, sums of 10, the penny plate game, all of that stuff is awesome. Maybe you have a grown-up who can give you a big number, like 476, and say, is that odd or even? And you could say, well, the last number I heard was 6. So what would that make it? Even. All right, so we've had a lot of stuff going on today. Are you ready though? I think you are. Have a great day, and I'll see you in a breakout room real soon.